All right, welcome everyone. It is May 23rd. For those of you on the call, if you're not muted, go ahead and mute your lines until it's time to share. If you have something to add or questions at the end, then you can unmute your line. That way we get a nice clean recording. And a couple things I want to share with you from my heart today are coming from the ICU conference in Chicago that we had. It was absolutely amazing this weekend, and we were just talking about this on our mastermind call, how several of us had just gone to Isagenix University in Newark, and a month later we're turning around and going to Chicago. Same content, same notebook, different presenters, different training. So you just got so much more out of it. And for those of you guys that were there, raise your hand if you thought Chris Harder was amazing. My husband was there, and this was like one of his first conferences. He went to Welcome Home. He's been to a couple of Top Achiever things, but it was his first conference, and he loved Chris Harder. He thought his training was absolutely amazing. So I'm going to go over a little bit of what stood out to me in that training, and those of you that were there, I know this won't be news to you, but you can certainly pipe in with anything that you want to share. But a couple of the things, we really train on Facebook. And for those of you that might be newer, I know a couple of you are a little bit newer with us. If you have not seen Tiffany Keller's Facebook training that she did in the ISA for Wealth group, if you search Tiffany Keller Facebook training, she did, is it 27 segments? 10-minute long trainings that will take you from A to Z through Facebook. So if you're more of a beginner and you really want to go through that, that'd be something. I wouldn't sit down and do it for 2 hours straight, but maybe watch one of her videos per day so you get yourself up and running. Okay, for those of you, is everybody muted? If everybody can make sure you're muted since we are recording, that way we get a good clean recording. So anyway, those are there for you. But for those of you that are a little more experienced on Facebook, the one thing that, we hear over and over and over again is that Facebook is all about creating a following. So we want to have, instead of hundreds of people watching what we are doing, we want thousands of people watching what we're doing. You want to post something, and when you post it, you get hundreds of likes and many comments, 100 comments, not just 10. So if you're not there yet, that's something that you really want to focus on. Really working on creating a following, getting more interaction, posts that will really create curiosity. Some of the great ones they shared, some of the things they shared to do this weekend is to be funny. So do some things that are just funny. Lifestyle pictures. He talked about David Norrie. David's a dad who's now staying home with his 2 children, and he's always posting pictures of him off with both kids, one in a stroller, one in his arms, saying, I got this, and just creating a following by his lifestyle. Being creative. They talked about different things that you can do, really creative things to create a following. To be inspirational, but yet not every single post be an inspirational picture. So really changing things up and giving diversity to your page. And really the bottom line is being worthy of being followed. So get to the point where people want to follow you because you have so much out there that it's just great. And, I've got some newer people that post so much, like we're talking Isagenix things 24/7 that they don't even put personal stuff on their walls. So it's really finding that 10-4-1 balance, which hopefully you guys know about. If not, refer back to Tiffany, her awesome training. All right, so a couple other things. He talked about using platforms that you enjoy most. So most of us are on Facebook, but there's other platforms. And I don't think you need to be an expert on 5 different platforms. My business coach says pick 2. Don't just rely on Facebook. What other platform do you really enjoy? He says do the ones that you really enjoy working with. So I'm not into Twitter. I don't get it. I don't know how Twitter is going to bring me business, so I don't like to spend time there. I do like Instagram. I love the idea of this Facebook Live they talked about. How many of you guys have used Facebook Live, or at least before this weekend? Has anybody heard of it? One? Couple of you. Okay. So they talked about Facebook Live being the next huge thing, and how doing a video on Facebook Live can really change the algorithms. So, pick something that you're interested in. Be funny, something around your lifestyle. I just did my very first one yesterday, and I've had a ton of views on it, making a shake that Susan Wheeler recommended I make for my post-recovery after my run yesterday. So try using that as a platform. So I'm not spending the whole time talking about Facebook. We talked a lot about power posts and how important the Sunday evening hour seems to be. Sunday evening seems to be such a great time to do power posting. Our team has really embraced that, and we, if everybody is in groups for blitzing, if you're not on ISA for Wealth, we can connect you, or even in our executive group, we can connect you. But having a group of people to really help push your posts up to the front, and going in for the next couple of days. So we do it on Sunday evening. Oftentimes I don't get on until Monday, and I jump everyone's posts back up by commenting on their posts. Anything else? Anyone that was in Chicago want to share about Facebook before I move on? Any of you leaders?
I'm driving, but I will share something about, okay, I love Facebook Live. I just have to say, I feel like a lot of my team really felt like they were there with us because of all the videos that I posted, and it really helped to get them motivated and just kind of feel the vibe and the energy that was going on in the room just by using that Facebook Live. So that's what I have to say about that.
Okay. Keep your eyes on the road, Tessa. All right. Who is that?
Oh, Cindy, I was just going to say, how about doing Facebook Live from an event? Like, meaning when you have a H3 event or a Happy Healthy Hour or whatever, just like the fun energy at the beginning when you're playing music and welcoming people, and, maybe just show your product display, or I don't know. What do you think about that?
Those of you that have used it for a while, what do you guys have to say? Because I'm brand new. I did my first one.
I think that's a great idea. I wouldn't show the display. Just remember, it's going to go on your timeline, and you always want to create curiosity and not be showing Isagenix. That would be the only thing. But I think the whole excitement to get, actually, that's even better than a picture. We talk about taking pictures that are like a healthy happy hour, and they do work to get more people there and get the excitement. But if you can just capture people enjoying it and having fun, and it doesn't need to be long. But I think the point of Facebook Live also is to actually have communication, like people pop in and chat with you on there, not just do a presentation. I mean, you can use it however you want, but I know the ones that I've watched that do it well are just having a casual conversation, and they talk, because people, it's like Periscope, people can talk in there and chat and ask questions and things like that. So I think for a Blitz, maybe you want to include a Facebook Live in your Blitz, because people have to take extra, that's the only thing, people have to stop and take extra time than scroll. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you want to get more attention to them, maybe that would be a good thing to put in your Blitz.
Yep. Awesome. All right. They talked a lot about connecting on social media. And, for us in this group, our goal for you is enrolling and creating consultants. So I posted the video that Sue and I did this morning, but just recently. So I don't know if any of you guys had a chance to watch it yet, but we talked about the importance of enrolling when you're building for executive. And, so many of you guys have pirates. I mean, I have pirates. We all have pirates with one person looking for that second person, and how you can't put all your eggs in those baskets, because you could enroll someone this week on the free enrollment special that could get to consultant quicker than someone you've had as a pirate for a year. That's the bottom line. So as you are enrolling this week using this incentive, our incentive to you this week is every time you enroll someone, your name is going to be in a drawing. And if you create a consultant, your name will be in 5 times for that consultant. So we want to drive home the importance of enrolling. So as you're talking to people this week, be sure to share with them, we have this great special going on this week. Is there anybody else that might want to do this program with you? Really ask them right up front, is there anyone else that might want to do this with you? You guys can be accountability partners. Do you have a spouse, a sister, a best friend, a neighbor that might want to do this with you? You might be able to create some consultants this week with the free enrollment quicker than getting some of your pirates to see the light and get their products paid for and enroll one more person. So that's something we really want to talk to you guys about this week. So connecting on social media, one of the things that was probably the most hysterical thing for me out of Chris's whole presentation was he talked about how Lori Harder follows up with people who request information. So say she does this great post on feedback and someone says, I'm interested, let me know more details. Our rule of thumb, our team will always say, say, I'll PM you, because we don't want to say, oh, go to my website, www. We don't want to put all that on Facebook. So we'll say, I'll PM you. So she'll PM her people, and I don't have this down verbatim, but it was hysterical. She says, hey, girl. And then she says, I would love to tell you about this. But she instead of acting desperate, like, I'll talk to you anytime you're available, I'm free 24 hours a day, she makes it sound like she's very busy, which I'm sure she is. She's not lying. And she says, I'm super busy. I don't have time to type it all up right here. So if you're serious, I would love to set up a time and chat with you. So I loved that approach because it made it seem like, I'm super busy, but if you're serious about this, I'd love to set up a time and chat with you. Is that something you guys would feel comfortable with? Yeah.
I think they added, if you're serious about making a lifestyle change.
Lifestyle change.
About making some life changes, right?
Or life changes. That was it. Yeah, that's better than lifestyle, because it could be business too. So life changes, because then it's not that you're interested in a diet.
Right. Exactly. So I love that. So that's a great way to, follow up with anyone who's expressed interest. And I always tell people, when I'm linking arms with someone going to executive, I tell them, everyone that you've talked to. So if you've got, like, I've got my notebook, and this is my prospecting notebook, and everyone that I prospect has a page in here, and I keep track of every time I contact them, every time I send them the information on the latest special, when a new product arrives, whatever my communication is, I write everything down in this book. So when we have an enrollment special like we do this week, I go back to every single lead that I have, and I private message them, text message them. There is lots of different ways that I contact them, whatever form of communication I use with them. But that's something I would do, is just, hey, I'm, if they've requested information, I follow up with them like I just explained. If they haven't, and I'm just kind of touching base with them, I might just say, hey, was thinking about you. We have a great special going on this week. Just wanted to fill you in on it in case you are ready for a life change, a lifestyle change, in case you are ready to, join in. You've requested information before. In case you're interested, here you go. So following up with people that way. Connecting in person. One of the things he talked about, I am a firm believer in as well, that you can set up appointments for follow-up without making it be an Isagenix meeting per se. So say you have someone that you've been thinking would be really great, either for the business or for the products. You could just message them, reach out to them and say, hey, do you have time to chat this week? I'd love to catch up with you. Hey, do you have time to meet for coffee this week? I'd love to catch up with you. And then you make your scheduled appointment, and then ask them questions, get them talking. They'll turn it around and ask you back, and you'll somehow find a way to weave Isagenix into your conversation. So that's a comfortable way to follow up. Anyone from this weekend have anything else you want to share about connecting, following up, Facebook, any of that could help everyone? No?
I do.
Yes.
And I know you guys have heard this 100 times, but especially to your team members, consistency, that's what I shared, and then a couple other people shared it too. And it doesn't have to be like, I guess I post 4 or 5 times a day, but they're not all tied. I'm not constantly saying, are you ready? Are you ready to start? Are you ready to change? Let's do this. I love my program. That's not it. It's, you can have posts, like when she talks about 10-4-1, that your posts are just inspiring by what you are doing and who you are. If it's lifestyle is, I feel like the one that people are really missing. So I guess I talk to my team a lot about this, and it's still coming for me. But to brand yourself, it's not about putting quote after quote after quote and all these charts and all these statistics about why your products are the best. It's about who you are and the life that you're leading. So if you look at the people who are truly doing this the best, which is what I tend to go look for, the people who are successful, most of their pictures are of them or their family or what they're doing or their environment, and they kind of, tie it in. And maybe it really has nothing to do, just it's really interesting. Like she's like Cindy said, what did you say? Earn your following or something like that. So I guess I encourage everyone to do that, because that's how you're going to attract more people to watching what you're doing, not quote after quote after quote after quote and copying and pasting something great that you see. People are not interested and don't care about a list of dairy-free, soy-free, all of these check marks of the nutrients in the products. I was on a different podcast from Chris Harder that he did, and they went over and over, quit telling them about all the details. It's the emotion that really gets them, and them wanting to do what you're doing because of the results that you're getting and how great your life is. Mm-hmm. So the good place to do that, though, is HHP. Those people want the details, possibly. They're already in, and they're deciding, and they kind of maybe want those concrete facts. But that's not really what we put. You can every once in a while, but I guess that's what I'm seeing too much, and I think that that's less interesting to people.
Yep. You want to be interesting, and you want to create curiosity. So that's the thing you always want to be mindful of when you're making your posts or doing Hootsuite, setting them up for the week or whatever. Creating curiosity, being worthy of being followed. That's what he said, being worthy of being followed. Awesome. All right. Anything else before I go into, does anyone have any special questions that we can really help you guys with? Where are you struggling? What can we do to help you? We just had another executive promotion this weekend, so they are happening and people are moving closer to their goals, and we want every one of you guys to get there. So I know a couple of you are fairly close and a couple of you have a ways to go, but it can be done. It absolutely can be done. Who was it on stage that was talking about what they did in 1 week? Help me out, guys. I'm trying to think in my notes. There was something that...
Laura Stevens, one of her people. It was at leadership.
Got to executive in 1 week, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was pregnant. Was that it? Something like that.
Yeah.
But it was all because Laura believed in her. And Laura did a ton of work.
Launch parties and all that, yeah.
And just was constantly one-on-one with her, texting her. You can't, she goes, it's not enough to say, you go, yay, I'll be cheering you on. That's not enough. They need the tools, especially at this girl's level. I mean, I think she was like maybe manager.
Yeah, so she had a ways to go and got it done in a week. So to me, when I hear something like that, I think if she can do it in a week, you guys can absolutely do it by July 13th. No doubt in my mind that every one of you can achieve this. So, and what it might require is you working closer with your upline. And if you don't have a direct sponsor that you're working closely with, reach up a little higher. You ask us for help. Let us help you, because we will do the three-way calls with you. We will help you. We will, if you're posting an HHP and you need some help and support, you just let us know. I added someone to HHP. Can you help me? Get us on three-way chats. Whatever we can do to help you, we want to support you. We want to do this with you. And I know, Sarah's probably, let's see, I think you're my most recent, she's not my personally enrolled, but her sponsor is not super engaged, not engaged at all, let's be honest. So I'm helping her. So we were on the phone texting and talking almost daily, getting her there. And that's what it takes. So if you guys are working with people to get them to consultant, it takes that extra push from you to help get them there. If they're wanting more than that, if they're wanting to go to manager and director and they're wanting to do what you're doing, it takes more work on your effort. But oh my gosh, it's so worth it. It's so worth it when you can help someone. Yes, Ian.
Well, I love that, Cindy, because that is true. And I don't know how many of you have been in this business or where your experience lies, but that is very true. And so people will say, I'm sorry I'm bothering you. And it's not a bother. It's exciting for me or for your leader to see you wanting this. And it is really different than corporate America. We are a team. And so it's just linking arms and being excited and knowing that it's not a bother. No question is a silly question, and you can ask the same question 50 times, but it's exciting, right? It motivates you to want to do more as well as a leader, to lead even better and to really just be a cheerleader. And I've been on both ends, and it's gratifying to help someone, and it also is wonderful when I can reach to my leader and experience the same thing.
Absolutely. Thank you. Any questions? Yes, Andrea.
I do have a question. So I have one gal in particular, I'm sure there's more than just her, but one gal in particular that has had fairly good success physically, but has difficulty sharing. And she's had several people come up to her and compliment her on how she looks, coworkers or friends or whatnot. And I've encouraged, all you have to do is ask them if they would like more information, or ask them if they would, like to do a three-way call, or add them to HHP or whatever. But even today, she messaged me first thing this morning, another person complimented me and said how good I looked. And I said, well, did you ask them if they would like more information or if they would like to look at the product page? And she said, no, they know what I'm doing. So unless they, ask me specifically, I'm not going to do that. So I just feel like all these leads are just going by the wayside and I don't have any way to get a hold of them. You know what I mean? Any suggestions as far as how I can handle that without being pushy to her?
Absolutely. Anyone else want to pipe in before I do?
I would ask her if she's open when she says something. I'm going to say, I guess I would be pretty honest. I guess maybe that's my red coming out. Odds are nothing's probably going to materialize unless we get them the information they need to learn more. Are you open to learning the simple steps to doing that? And it really just comes down to an invitation, which is invite them to HHP.
Yeah. And maybe find out what her goals are. Oh, you moved on the screen. I was looking for you when you disappeared. Ask her what her goals are, because the bottom line with this is we can't get people to share if they're not even motivated to get their products paid for. If they're not wanting to share, it's hard for us to be able to get them that way. So go back to her why. What is she wanting out of this? Is she only wanting product results, or would she like to get her products paid for?
She originally did not have any intention on wanting to share at all, and had a few people ask her, and I helped her enroll a couple people, and she got that first referral bonus and was like, oh, well, okay. So she kind of enjoyed that. I don't necessarily think she wants to put the work in, but I would be willing to do the legwork for her if she wants to bring the people to me, So
Use what Susan Sly did. At conference, she basically did do the legwork and then called the girl up saying, Frank's ready to sign up. Call me. So if you can say to the girl, that she's not doing anything, I would just say, go back to her goals like Cindy said, see what she says. And if they're not in line with sharing yet, say, I truly am on a mission to help everyone live the best, healthiest life possible. So I'm willing, to step in and help.
Yep.
You could even say she could, if you want to refer them on to me, I'm happy to help.
Yep.
So then they're not going away. When when she does refer them on to you, you can then still offer and see what she says. Otherwise, if she doesn't want to do anything, then
I feel like she's kind of putting a roadblock up by not even keeping the door open. I don't know, because I don't know these people that she's talking to, so I have no way to kind of get to them unless she,
Yeah.
I'll keep working on it.
If they're saying you look awesome, the next question is, what are you doing? So I can't imagine that they're not asking her what she's doing. No one says.
I shared with her, I said, if they're complimenting you and saying that you look nice, that's kind of their key to say, I'm interested in what you're doing. So you don't have to be pushy. You can just simply say, oh, do you want more information? I can share with you.
Yeah, I've got this great product page I can add you to.
Or I would even say information. Oh, I started a nutritional cleansing system and I love it. That's not asking, hey, do you want to do what I'm doing? And then they'll say, what's that? And then they say, oh, I can add you to my private support page. So instead of saying, do you want more information? That sounds a little salesy, in my opinion. I would say, thank you. I started this nutritional cleansing, or I started this superfood nutrition and I just love it. Then they will ask for more. Then you offer. Sure, I'd be happy to show you what I do.
Yep.
Are you on Facebook? Or if you're already friends, then add them to it. So be more genuine rather than sounding like, ooh, I want to get someone,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great advice. Great advice. Anyone else? This is where you get your chance to ask questions of your leaders. Anything that we can help you with? No one has any questions. We've got 6 minutes. Come on, Diana.
All right. I have a fairly newbie who I messaged her this morning to tell her that she had way too much personal volume. She needs to enroll her husband. So I immediately got back, oh yeah, we can enroll him today. So we're going to enroll her husband. Now, how do I encourage? I know, I'm so excited. And I have to be honest with you, when I was talking to them, I was trying to get him on the system because he really needs it a lot more than she does. So I'm psyched that they're both going to be on.
That's great.
Anyway, what can I say to her to encourage her now that we're going to enroll her husband on a Monday? She's got all week. I want her to get her second person so she gets double and she promotes.
Mm-hmm.
like any words of wisdom on what, I mean, I already said, I'll tell you what I said. I don't want to take up the whole call with it, but.
No, that's what we're here for. We want to answer your questions.
With that being said, if you knew another person that needed this and was willing to start, you could enroll them and, you know, earn some bonus bucks. It's kind of where I left it with her. And she was like, oh yeah, let's enroll him. He's ready to go. The husband. So I want to find a way to encourage her to get that second one.
Yeah, so I would say, you know, when you're talking with her today and you're doing the actual enrollment, then reiterate it. You've already planted the seed, so it's back here. You planted the seed and say, it is only Monday. You have until Sunday. If you can think of one more person that we could share this with this week, your bonus, do you know what she's enrolling her husband on yet?
No, I mean, I imagine it's going to be a 30-day because she started with a pace setter, so she's got all that extra stuff already. And she already placed another order, and it hasn't even been a month yet, so she wanted even more stuff.
Okay, so just say she gets the 30-day. You know, just explain to her that bonus will double from 25 to 50. You'd get double PIBs on the second person you enrolled, and a $50 bonus for promoting to consultant. So that could be, you know, that could be enough to buy your next month's order right there. So I'd love to see this happen for you. Think of who else you could introduce this to, and then you could say, I'll help with a 3-way call, I'll get on the phone, if you don't have a launch party going on, whatever, you know, whatever you can suggest, but let her know you'll help her and give her ideas. You know, do you have a neighbor, a sister, a
sister-in-law?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Cousin.
Yep.
Yes.
Are you open to posting on Facebook?
Are you open to
ask her that and then give her the script. So she does not have, that is half the thing. They don't know what to say. Once I start showing people what to say, and I do suggest, this is just a general outline, because they tag me, I don't want the same thing posted on my timeline, because then it sounds scripted, right? And so make this your own, but send it to me. I'm happy to help it in any way I can. Once they know, okay, I can send it to you, so then, okay, it's okay to put up because you said it was okay. Like, it's good, you know? So, but going back to what Cindy said, you might even get her to start her husband on a President's Pack when she knows she could get $160 back instead of $50.
Well, that's a good point.
So draw it out.
Yeah, I would draw
it out for them. U+2, double PIBs, just like we learn. That's what encourages people. Because I was telling my team, when I have someone enroll one person and they get $50 or whatever it happens to be, or maybe 25, that's nice. But not as exciting as if they're going to enroll. Like I have someone now that has one person going to join. I go, we have to get one more for you this week, because that's going to turn her into at least $250 to $370 instead of 25 or 50. And then she's like, cool. And then they probably want to share more than $25.
Right. Definitely. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else? We can probably take one more. No more?
I was just going to share a tip that helped me from Susan Slide that I've heard her say before, but I need to get better at it. And I'm going to. It's on my list of things to do. And that is, you know, especially Cindy was talking about, and she told me this too when I was trying to get to executive, and I went back to my people, but it really was more the new people and me just being more aggressive with them. And that's what she said, your new people. And I think for a lot of us, it's hard to believe that it's the new people that are going to get us there, but it's our strategy with the new people, okay, that we didn't do with a lot of the people before.
Right.
And so showing them what's out there for them after you got them enrolled and stuff, then make a meeting. I know Susan said I think she does it via Zoom, because she said she draws it out for them and says, I am obligated to share this with you. Because no one's going and reading every single link about how they can get their products paid for. And those deadlines are for real, for the crystals and stuff. So she draws it out for them, you know, what consultant is, the money you get, manager, the timeline and the money you get, what director is, the timeline and the money you get, and executive. And so I'm obligated to share this with you. So knowing that, you know, kind of what are you thinking or where you're interested in, or what would another $500, if you had $500, what would you do with it?
Yeah, she does a great job. And you know, I feel the same way. I want everyone to get free groceries. So anyone that enrolls with me, every single person, and you know, Chris Harder said the same thing on stage, 100% of the people him and Lori enroll, 100% hear how they can get their products paid for. Whether they ever act on it is fine, but they made a promise to make sure everyone knows, because like Susan, they feel obligated to share. So just be sure you're doing that, because what you do now could be differently than what you did when you first enrolled, because now you have more skills, you've learned more, you've gone to trainings, you're showing up for these calls, so you can change what you're doing and what you're saying and get those seeds out, even if you weren't doing it before. And then go back to the people, and you can go back to people. I've humbled myself and gone back to people and said, you know what, Sarah, I'm so sorry I didn't share this with you right at the start, but honestly, I just didn't know quite how to do it, but I never really shared with you how you can get your products paid for. Is that something that might be of interest to you? I swallow, a little humble pie, but I've done that with people before and gone back, and then, they're like, yeah, I'd like to hear about that. So do that. Don't forget about those people, but like Lori was just saying, it's the people that you're enrolling this week that could potentially get you to executive. So it's really important to do both. Absolutely. Well, anything else before we close, ladies? Awesome. All right. Well, watch the video if you haven't so far, and participate in the contest. It may not be a $500 cash prize that we're giving away, but it's little prizes to really encourage you guys to do the steps required to get you to your goal. And so enrolling and creating consultants is what you need to be doing to get to executive. So that's what we're trying to instill in you guys, the urgency of getting that done. You've got a great week of an awesome incentive. Who knows when we'll have another one, because we're not starting another 90-day game plan till probably after celebration. So use this. I do believe I've heard wind of a seasonal shake coming up in the month of June. So that will help us in the month of June. So hopefully between this incentive and that incentive, we'll be able to start seeing some really great growth to help you guys all get to executive. So let us know if we can help you.
Are Susan's calls at the same time?
Say that again.
Susan's calls at the same time as last time?
Yes. So Susan, if any of your team members want to get on live to Susan's, it'll be 8:15 Wednesday night. And I have talked her into recording hers as well. So we're going to have the same topics, but they go differently because, I've got certain leaders that are on here helping me, and she might have someone helping her. So they go a little bit differently. So not that you necessarily need to get on both. As long as you're getting on one, I feel like that's helpful. But certainly get your team members too that are participating in the group. So reach out if you need anything, guys. We're here to help you. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.